Bonjour, Kinamagi Nene Ireland Indigenicas, and welcome to this reading Tier 2 intervention. Today's episode, Otzi the Iceman, dictionary work. Today's segment will have two parts. The first part, you're going to reread your Otzi the Iceman. Then you're going to unpause the video and we're going to talk about dictionary work. You will have two different things to do with the post. One of them will be to complete the worksheet here. The second part will be to do the comprehension piece for this. They will be split into two different posts in here as a week 17 comprehension check. That way you don't accidentally mark it as done. So go ahead and pause the video and I will see you once you've read the story again. You may pause the video now. Welcome back. You might say, Mr. Ireland, where's the screen? What are we working on? And today's topic, dictionary work, involves a dictionary. Those are dusty old books that had words in them, and they had more words that told you what the first words meant. And then they had more words that told you potentially other ways of putting past tense or future tense or how to pronounce it, and even more meanings of the words. They could be really huge books. The downside is nobody walks around with a dictionary anymore. You should. It's a good thing to have at least as a resource near you. And I am a terrible example of that today because right now I don't have a dictionary within arm's length of me. My dictionary is sitting neatly on my desk 30 miles away. Not a good spot for it. So what am I going to do? Well, you're blessed with modern technology. You have a few options. If you're walking around with a smartphone, and I know many of you are, believe it or not, you can do more than play video games on it and listen to music and make TikToks. You can actually Google different words and find out what they mean. I do it all the time because believe it or not, just because I'm old and I'm the teacher, I don't know every word. English has more than 1 million words. There's no possible way that I'm going to know all of them. And if you know all of them, props to you because you're ahead of me on this one. So I'm going to go back to my screen share today. And you can see I'm going to show you a couple different spots that you might choose to do it if you're online. One of them is Merriam-Webster, and you can actually abbreviate this as m-w.com. And I need a word here, and my word will be approve. So let's say I wanted to find the meaning of approve. I put it in, and I hit it. There is a thesaurus here, and that'll give you words that have a similar meaning. So synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms are the same. So accredit, approbate, authorize, clear, confirm, finalize, formalize, homologate, okay, ratify, sanction, or warrant. Antonyms, words that are opposite, ban, enjoin, forbid, illegalize, interdict, prohibit, and prescribe. But going back to the dictionary, and by the way, I recommend that you pick a word each day and look up what these things, spend 5 minutes, pick a word that you of interest, put it into a site like this. Look at the thesaurus. You'll be amazed at what your vocabulary does. But the word approve, to have or express a favorable opinion of, to accept as satisfactory, to give formal or official sanction. In this case, sanction means your formal approval. And you can see some prove and attest. Those are some older words that mean the same thing, but we don't use them very often. We find out it's a transitive verb, and I could even hear what it said, how it's pronounced.
Approve.
See, approve. And then you have the past tense approved versus approving. Let's use the same word over here and see what we get. This is dictionary.com. Let's listen to it again.
approve,
You can see that they've actually broken down approved, approved. So you can see it has two syllables. Speak or think favorably of, pronounce or consider agreeable, to consent or agree to confirm or sanction formally. And you have some obsolete: to show, attest, prove, to convict, proved and approving. So you, and then let's look at our thesaurus here, and for similarities, it might actually take a little bit more effort here. So let's get synonyms of it. We have to hit enter through. So we get synonyms include appreciate or esteem, authorize, endorse, or validate, and an antonym, reject. Both of these are good resources, and I would strongly recommend that you bookmark a personal favorite. I tend to write m-w.com because it's shorter, but there's no issue with choosing either. So let's go into our material here today. And what you're going to do is we just saw the word approve. So we might say let's pick the first one here, to express a favorable opinion of. And that's all you would have to do. You literally just write it in. Now on the bottom part, use context clues and the definitions of the base words to choose the correct word for each blank. You're going to use these words. So I need one with approve. And you notice that you can have the prefixes re and dis. And here my parents would blank of any bad behavior on my part. And this is where we don't want to use approve, because hopefully your parents aren't approving of your bad behavior, but they might disapprove of it. So not approve of it. So on this line, you would write disapprove. So you have a freebie in here once we get to the lesson content. So be happy I gave you an answer. Kind of gave you two. So you're going to have a little work to do in here, and you're going to do this in the Google Classroom using the Google form. My expectation of this is that it benefits you to have some experience, even if it can be a little bit complicated. When you're done, there will be a comprehension quiz posted as a tier 2 reading intervention wrap up for week 17. And you're going to have some of these questions. You may not have them all, and I can't scroll any further because I don't want to give you the answers. But you're going to have somewhere between 7 and 10 of these questions. You are welcome to use your text and be able to utilize that to look up answers. And this is for comprehension. If you already know the answer, like if you already know the answer to number 1, you don't necessarily have to look it up. But if you don't know it, then by all means, look it up. And you see these bolded words, and so you don't know what a theory is, you may either use the glossary in your story, and that's right back here, a possible explanation. And you can see, I see the word explanation. That might be it. Or if you didn't want to use a glossary, although you should, you could put it in here and have it. So those two things will both be due here by the end of the week. If you do one today and you want to do one during your independent work time, that is okay. Or you can even do one further on down the day, but you are expected to do both. I hope you've enjoyed learning about OTC. I hope you've enjoyed your knowledge of adverbs this week. Remember, those are words that describe verbs, such as I slowly lift this bottle, although you can't see it because of my background. It's invisible. Isn't this pretty cool? Oh, there it is. Or I talk really quickly, or I talk really slow. Those are kind of those words for that. A dictionary is your friend. I can't tell you how many times I do when I say, what's this word mean? And they'd say, look it up. Or more interestingly, I don't know, well, how do I spell this word? Look it up in the dictionary. Never really understood that. If I knew how to spell it, I could find it in the dictionary. But, I digress. If you have any questions, I recommend that you reach out to me at mireland@psychchipschool.net. Remember, the best way to get this information is to participate in class. So I'm going to expect to see you in our next session. These videos are intended for students that either want to review what we've already done or you are absent for whatever reason. This concludes our Tier 2 interventions for this week. Make sure you get done both assignments plus anything else that was due in our interventions this week. And I hope you all have a Minogijigad, Minwa, Pamapi.